to fly from Arizona to Oklahoma to take weekend courses. That means if you don't work, you don't get what? Paid. Hey family, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl AlexVaney, and you already know what it is. On this channel, we talk about all things faith, balance, self-discovery, self-care, and today we're gonna talk about faith. Faith moves. So I'm gonna start this new series where I'm just gonna be talking about all the ways I've stepped out on faith and was obedient to God in my life. And today we're gonna talk about how I moved from Oklahoma to Arizona and gave God my yes. So if you're in a season where God has called you to move, to let go somewhere blindly, this video is for you. So let's get into it. So let's take it back to 2018, where I was a master's student at the University of Oklahoma, living with my mother, working on campus, and I needed to have an internship for my graduate program. I thought at the time my job was going to qualify for an internship so I can just write some notes, get some credits, let it be good for graduation. But no, they were like, "Ma'am, you need an internship, paid or unpaid, whatever you need, just do it so you can graduate." And I said, paid or unpaid? Unpaid what? Because honey got bills, and we're not doing that over here. We need a paid internship. And Oklahoma didn't have a lot of paid internships. I'm like, okay, do I need to go down to Texas and do a paid internship? What do I need to do? And I was like, Lord, all right, I need to graduate next May. I need an internship that meets the qualifications that my job is not meeting right now. I'm willing to move, but if I'm honest, I really want to move somewhere where I know at least one person. And this is why you got to be very specific with God, because you're like, I'm willing to move. And he opens the door in Australia. You like, wait, I didn't know that far. So you really have to have a communication and we're like, Lord, listen, I want to move, but not that far. So that's what I said. I said, Lord, I just at least want to know one person in the state. And so that was Texas, Oklahoma, Arizona, Georgia, Colorado. And I applied. And you know the process where you get calls back, you don't get calls back. You're overqualified, you're underqualified. This is really what we're looking for. We really need to have you here for 2 years. We're really looking for someone who's going to be unpaid. And honey, unpaid was not in the category. I needed paid. I needed money. I needed denarius. Like, come on. Like, pay me. But y'all don't want to pay nobody. That's the story for another day. Y'all don't really want to be paying nobody at these organizations, these businesses. But anyway, so God opened the door for Arizona. And you know, thinking back on it, I thought I was going to be so nervous about moving. But God gave me so much peace about that move. Even though I had 2 months to move, 2 weeks notice, quit my job, pack up, and move across the country 15 hours away from home by car. But I received the peace of God for that move. The amount of money they were going to give me, the ability to finish my graduate program, and things like that aligned really well. And so thankful for it. So when I got to Arizona, it was in the heat of the summer, May. Remind you, I've never been to Arizona before. I just knew my aunt loved it. She's been there 15, 20 years, whatever it is. And I was like, you know what? You had a place for me to stay? I'm coming. I had a job. Let's get it. I had a car. Move around. So I said, I'm going to be there for 3 months. And so then I will leave. Got to that job. 3 months turned into 10 months. Okay? I also wasn't looking for another job at the time. I was like, they're going to extend me. Maybe they're going to offer me a full-time job. Plot twist, they didn't. They said, we ain't got a job for you at the end of these 10 months. I said, okay, wait a minute. I was only supposed to be here for 3 months. You told me 10 months. Now you ain't got a job for me? Okay. Anyway, But that is okay because my next job, I think it either doubled or tripled my salary since it was an internship. And I met some really great people there. But rewinding back to the internship, as I was there for 3 months, I realized that my degree was a hybrid degree. Y'all know what hybrid is. So I had to take online classes and in-person classes, which meant I had to fly from Arizona to Oklahoma to take weekend courses. How I'm supposed to be in person when I'm in Arizona? How I'm supposed to be in person when I am on an intern salary? Hourly? That means if you don't work, you don't get what? Paid. No, because what? Nothing but the grace of God. Because my internship salary allowed me to fly home. Thank God that we're not in the economy that we were in now back then, because these 96 flight round trips that I took back on Southwest are not happening now. And on an internship salary, it wasn't going to happen. But by the grace of God, it happened. So Monday through Thursday, I will work at my internship in Arizona. Get on a flight on Thursday night. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, go to my weekend courses in Oklahoma. Hop back on a flight on Monday and did it all over again for 2 weekends out of the month until December. Can we say exhausting? That part was actually exhausting. But the peace came with me having the ability to pay for these flights. I'm like, Lord, I don't even know how this money is even covering flight, food that I needed to buy for in Arizona, in Oklahoma, gas, nothing but God. Because although it was an exhausting couple of months there, God continued to open doors in the background that I couldn't even think about. That season of life was wild, but God did it. God continued to bring me through it. So remind you, summer internship that lasted from 3 months to now 10 months. No job offer at the end of 10 months, but I was able to apply for another job that I thought was going to be in Texas, but God said, no, you're going to be staying in Arizona. And I'm like, okay. So doors after doors that God allowed me to step into and thrive into. And I'm just so grateful for this season of life that He allowed me to walk into purpose, walk into blessings, walk into abundance, walk in authority in that moment. Because during that time, I couldn't be timid. When God told me to move, I needed to move. When God told me to apply here, I applied here. As I'm reflecting on that season of life, I'm reminded that, the whole quote of, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the next step. God is calling us to just take the next step. He will provide the resources. He will provide the people. He will provide the financial ability for you to thrive there. He will give you the knowledge and the wisdom. All He's asking you to do is go. And I also realize that God will stretch our faith before we see the fruit. What is the fruit? Community, financial stability, my now fiance. That's the fruit. All He needed us to do was be faithful and have obedience. Because what I realize is that provision often comes after we're obedient. God provided the way. All we need to do was go. So reflect right now in your life of where has God told you to go, you went, and He continued to provide. You don't have to worry about what you're going to eat, what you're going to wear, what you're going to say. He gave you everything you needed in that moment and more. God continued to blow my mind in that season. And I believe that season actually propelled me to have greater faith now. That leap from Oklahoma to Arizona propelled me in my life now to have greater faith. And I'm so thankful and I'm so honored that God allowed me to have this fruit and to bear this fruit. and to be a witness to you all today. And it reminds me of one of my favorite scriptures, Proverbs 3:5-6, which is, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. We're not trusting him with a little bit. We have to go all in with our trust and with our faith. Because once we do that, our paths will continue to make a way out of no way. We can't do this in our own strength. We can't do this with our own confidence. We need bigger faith, bigger confidence, and we only can have that with God. So if God is calling you to go, let's take that leap and do it. Let's do it afraid, but let's do it anyway. God is going to grab your hand and y'all are going to run. Y'all aren't going to stop for water. Y'all not going to take a bathroom break. Y'all just going to keep going and going and going. And watch him continue to blow your mind. Watch him continue to give you that fruit. Watch him favor you and honor you because you said yes. If this video resonated with you, please like or subscribe. And even in the comments section, let's talk about our faith journey. Maybe you experienced faith and God blew your mind. Maybe you moved to a state and God gave you community, family, friends. Let's chat it up in the comments section on how God blew your mind because you went for it and you said yes. It's your girl, AlexVaney. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.